Hi, welcome to the 5th course dedicated to the GAMA platform. In this course, we will adapt the epidemiological model built during the previous course to the city of Luneray in Normandy. This course will show how to integrate GIS data in a model and to make agents move on a network of polylines using a graph. First, we have to copy the data that will be required for this tutorial from the GAMA website. Once the archive file is downloaded, uncompress it and copy all the files contained in the Luneray's flu/includes folder in the includes folder of your project. We define now the road and building species. First, let's define a road species with just an aspect called geom that draws the geometry of the agents, its shape variable in black. Then we define a building species with also an aspect called geom that draws the geometry of the agents in gray. We integrate the GIS files, shape files, and we define the environment size from it. We define two new global variables that correspond to the two shape files that we are going to use for the roads and buildings. For each of them, we give the relative path of the file from the models folder. The use of .. allows to go up in the directory tree. Then we modify the geometry of the world in order to compute it as the envelope of the road shapefile. We create the building and road agents from the shapefiles, and we locate the people agents inside the buildings. In the init block, we create the road and building agents from the road and building shapefile. Each object of the shapefile will become an agent. Then we modify the creation of the people agents in order to set their initial location inside one of the buildings. At last, we add the building and road agents to the display. Finally, let's add in the map display the building and the road species with their geom aspects. It is time to load the model by using the experiment button. We now have buildings and roads. The people agents are located inside the building. However, if we run the simulation, we can observe that the people agents do not take into account the road when moving. It is thus now time to make people agents move along the roads from building to building. For that, we first need to define a graph from the road agents. So we define a new variable called road network of type graph. Then, just after creating the road agents, we ask GAMA to build the road network from the road agents. The build graph will be undirected and will connect each road at their intersections. At last, we modify the behaviors of people agents to make them stay in buildings a certain time, then move to another building by using the road network. So first, we define a new variable for the people species called target of type point that represents the location where the agents want to go. Then we define a new reflex called stay that is activated when the target variable has no value. When executed, this reflex has a probability of 0.05 to define a new value for the target variable. The new value will be a random point located in one of the buildings. At last, we modify the move reflex in order to activate it only when the target variable has a value. Then, we use the go-to action of the moving skill instead of the wander action. The goal is to make the agent move toward its target by using the road network graph. With the go-to action, the agent will first compute the shortest path according to the given graph from its location to its target, then move according to its speed variable. At last, if the agent arrives at the destination, which can be written by location equals target, then we set the value of the target variable to nil. The model is now finished. We can load the model and test it. We can observe that now the people agents move on the roads from building to building.